I won't lie, but it's pretty amazing that not even the usual MK hype beasts are really hyped about this. So it's been about a few hours since NetherRealm Studios and Mortal Kombat had just released the Kombat Pack 1 trailer, which pretty much confirmed that all of the leaks from yesterday were 100% spot on, and the overall reception from the MK community seems pretty non-existent. And even though the use of the term Backlash is a bit of an over-exaggeration on my end, the overall reveals do seem to be somewhat underwhelming for everyone out there, and it does seem to stem from a multitude of reasons. Now first and foremost, let's look at the joke in the box, and I will 100% back everyone on this in that the Joker's inclusion in MK11 is completely redundant, and it's about as pointless as whenever MK characters appear in Injustice games. I do understand that they've included the Joker specifically to promote the Joker movie despite him being released in January for some reason, but ultimately it just comes down as NetherRealm Studios being kind of lazy and predictable, and even the design for some reason just seems very off to me. Granted, this design looks leagues better than this, but even still, the fact that they haven't even got Mark Hamill to do the Joker's voice just makes the Joker's inclusion seem all the more redundant in my eyes and just needless. But on the flip side to that, having Arnold Schwarzenegger portraying his likeliness into the Terminator model as well as possibly doing his voice is a match made in heaven. And it does seem like everyone within the community is in agreement in that the Terminator's inclusion for Kombat Pack 1 is great. And I am truly grateful in that we're not having just a generic Terminator exoskeleton, and instead we are actually having Arnold Schwarzenegger's design. Although the big thing that's given everyone a sour taste in their mouths is the fact that the release dates for individual characters seem to be very hit and miss. Because admittedly, when you look at this, it does seem a little too long for them to release each individual character like once every 2 months. And the fact that we don't get Spawn till March just seems very long from here to then. But what most people don't seem to understand is the fact that originally NetherRealm Studios were working extremely hard to the point that they had really tight schedules. A majority of the employees were overworking to the point of it becoming dangerous for their health. And the way I look at it, the reason why they're spreading all of these releases out from one another instead of doing like one every month is because they're trying to reevaluate on how they're going to be dealing with DLC in the near future, as well as making sure that all of the employees are safe instead of overworking them as they once did. And as much as I'd like to see all of them characters being released much sooner than the actual release dates, ultimately the health and welfare of the employees at NetherRealm Studios come first, and if we're going to get all of them characters much sooner, then chances are they're going to be more polished, so in the long run it does seem to be a win-win. Although some people still seem to be scratching their heads on where the hell Ash Williams is or any of the other characters that were slated to be DLC characters for MK11, and chances are, given that they did confirm that the lifespan of MK11 is going to last more than just 1 year, I am under the impression that we'll have at least one more Kombat pack featuring Ash Williams and all of the other slated DLC characters. So honestly, if anyone's concerned about this, I wouldn't stress on it just yet. But I think the biggest reason on why there's such an underwhelming response about Kombat Pack 1 outside of the release date is the fact that we pretty much already knew all of the DLC characters before the base game even came out. And I would imagine that everyone was expecting at least one unexpected reveal, like let's say a wildcard like Deadpool or something like that. And while I would much prefer seeing new inclusions over the people we already knew were going to come out, at the same time you shouldn't be any less excited for the characters we're going to get. And if we were to replace the Joker with Ash Williams, then I think this would be a pretty solid roster, because pretty much all of the characters that are included in Kombat Pack 1 are heavily requested. And for the most part, it is clear in my mind that NetherRealm Studios are listening to the fans. Although I do feel like the hype has been dampened because for one, we already know about those characters in advance as well as the admittedly long release dates, but at this rate, there's nothing more you can do. So what are your overall thoughts on Mortal Kombat 11's very first Kombat Pack? Are you fairly satisfied with this roster, or would you much prefer it if they were to switch a few characters around? And also, which character are you most excited to get when they finally get released? Comment below and share some thoughts. And as always, thank you guys for watching this video. Please like and subscribe. Take care and have a good one.